It could have been April Fool's. Remember last year that there was going to be a Game Boy adapter that Hyperkin planned for a smartphone, but now they might be making a Turbo Express clone. If this is done right, this could be nice.
This could be. So, I believe it's supposed to be HuCard compatible, so region free. It's supposed to have an OLED screen. It's supposed to be used as a console. It would output 1080p to a TV, which is ridiculous. You only really need like 720 or 480. But hey, as long as it's up converting, fine.
Yeah, I had. You get just like the old one. You get a 3.5 headphone jack.
Yep.
You get the turbo switches on there.
Yep.
Like the original.
Supposedly there would be a TV tuner.
Which makes no sense, but okay. Throw it on if you want.
Just for the fuck of it.
If it costs you $1 per unit. Rechargeable 10-hour battery, that's outstanding. If they can pull that off with a screen that big. Because
they can't do it with the Superboy.
Well, otherwise they'll have, like the Turbo Express having like, whatever it is, 6 or 8 double A's
right
in there. HD TV tuner for digital HD channels. That's so cute that I'd love to see that they can pull that off. And wireless Turbo HD.
That's the thing.
The Turbo HD linking up systems.
That to me sounds pretty cool. But then the stupidest thing, serialized model numbers. Fucking eat me, dude. You're not making.
We were doing so well praising this.
You're not making a collectible. You're making a knockoff Turbo Duo, and that's a Turbo Express, and that's great. People want that.
There's a market for this.
Oh, there is.
Because Turbo Express is 5-6 years ago were like $60, and now they're like $200.
People come into the store. I mean, I've talked about it with people in the store all the time. Hey, if they could make a portable, and I'm like, it's never going to happen. And I mean, now it might. I mean, I'd love to eat my words on that and see this actually happen.
This would be worth it just as a replacement console.
Oh, just to keep around. Yeah, I mean
this because there's no replacement Turbo console,
right?
Unless you get like the Retro Freak out of Japan, which has it. Otherwise, though, you buy this and then you can use that as a portable. I would. And this is probably thinner than the bulky Turbo Express original, and it probably and you know what, the capacitors won't go, like the original.
The designs, I mean, drawings make it look like it would be much thinner. So
yeah. So price point though. We know that, with the Restaurant 5, it started at a certain point and went up a little bit and a little bit. I would think that, depending on where they get the LED screen from, I'm not sure what's the difference between what's a AMOLED, AMOLED. I'm not sure what the difference is. Maybe it's cheaper, maybe it's better. I have no idea. I'm not an expert. I'm not an engineer. But if they could get this at a price point at like $125, they would sell a ton of these.
Yeah,
because it would be cheaper than a used TurboGrafx, a hell of a lot cheaper than a Turbo Express.
Would be cheaper than a TurboGrafx, but
they've gone up a little bit.
We sell them for $120.
Oh, I was in the ballpark. All right, Jesus, God, it's top of my head. I don't track prices anymore. Anyway, I'm being snippy for no reason. Over a handheld that might never come out. Anyway, so I would be interested in this. I actually would be. If I'm on the couch, I want to play a Turbo game, don't want to put on the TV, I'll just, don't want to get a bulky Turbo Express and have to plug it into the wall or otherwise waste batteries.
My main interest would be to just see some Turbo games on an OLED screen because the colors are so rich on OLED screens. It'd be really neat to see. Plus, the fact that it would be designed to make those games look clear. Now, I have a FrameMeister and I can see those games looking lovely, but yeah, the OLED screen is honestly the thing that looks the coolest. I would wonder why they would the wireless link up. If you guys don't know, if you had a Turbo Express, you need to buy the link, which was cable to go one to the other for 2-player games. I wonder if there'd be any latency or what the technology would be for that. I guess it'd be like a Wi-Fi thing, or it could be an afterthought. I mean, quite frankly. That's not meant to sound mean, but maybe they just don't. Maybe it's not something they care about. I think they're going to have to, though. Otherwise, because if you want people to play 2 players, there has to be a controller port somewhere on this. You know what I mean? Like, otherwise, what are you going to do? Almost like those ones you hook up to the TV now. Yeah, like the Genesis ones. True. There's a controller port. Well, yeah, their own Superboy has 2 controller ports on the front of it, and that's not listed as a feature here. So that to me is maybe that's a price. Maybe it's too small and thin to be able to fit it. That to me is the glaring, because if that's included, if you can piggyback onto that and put a turbo tap onto there, say you put the system down on the table and get a turbo tap you can buy for like $25-$30, and then you basically use it as your system, put it on the table, and we both have our own controller.
That solves all your problems.
Yeah, it's very nice.
There. And then you have a new TurboGrafx 16. And then that would obviously drive the price down to the old ones. Be less demand.
Sure.
All right, Hyperkin, let's make me a believer, damn it.